Ah, it sure is nice here in retirement. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, at my own pace. A difficult tech spam Kaiser level? Sure, why the hell not? There's no Pizzaface to worry about, so why should I be worried? Okay, seriously, what are these Discord notifications? I don't have any friends, what could possibly be so important? I'm sure eventually we're going to find some glitch or exploit that gives us just enough of an edge over Pizzaface in these levels. Huh. So that just happened. Alright, let's do this one last time. I'm doing a challenge where Pizzaface chases me throughout the entire level, and up until recently, I thought I was done with it. It took countless hours of trial and error, labbing, and support from others. However, once I was done, there were 3 levels that I labeled impossible. Pizzascape, Oh Shit, and Oregano Desert. Oh? See that big giant asterisk next to Oregano Desert? Well, that's a whole other huge story that has this whole fancy book written about it that I'm not going to get into. If you want to get fully caught up, you can watch this other video here, but the general gist of it is that Oregano Desert is in fact possible, but the inputs required to complete the last impossible room were too precise to be done by a human. After finishing that video, I played around with the room for another month before finally throwing in the tower and calling it quits there. I was getting close, but I honestly didn't feel it was worth wasting any more of my time. Fast forward till a few weeks ago when absolutely everything changed. On February 15th, user Cheese4You joined the Pizza Tower speedrunning Discord with a new discovery in hand. This was the inciting incident, the Walter turning into Heisenberg moment, the bite of 87, or whatever other reference I can come up with is. From that day forth, the discovery was labeled Dora. I am not joking. What is Dora, you may ask? Oh, well, it's just a very silly and very minor exploit involving swap mode that allows you to maintain speed through transitions. This trick basically involves you entering a door on the same frame you swap to a different character, which is where all sorts of jank starts happening. Besides the multitude of practical speedrun applications this trick allows for, Dora also facilitates an even more game-breaking glitch, progression transfer. This glitch allows you to carry over progression from one level, such as top-ins, secrets, or treasures, to a completely different level without you ever having to play that other level. This means that for most full game speedruns, the fastest way to complete the game was to replay the fastest level, John Gutter, 19 times for each level to unlock their top-ins. I think you can see where this is going now. One John Gutter shitpost led to another, and soon the whole server devolved into chaos for a couple of hours. Needless to say, progression transfer was immediately banned from NMG, becoming the second major glitch besides pause abuse. But what about normal Dora, the non-19 John Gutters version of the glitch? Well, that trick still remains NMG for the time being, which means it's allowed for speedruns, and therefore, this stupid Pizzaface challenge. With the introductions over, let's see how this technique affects Oregano Desert. That one pesky impossible room does have a door leading to it, so let's see what we can cook up with this. Getting a medium Mach 4 speed upon entry would give us more than enough time to eat the hot wing before Pizzaface spawns in, so now it just comes down to executing the trick. Thankfully, the inputs required for Dora, up and down, can be multi-binded to a single button, which makes it so you just have to taunt, press the multi-bind, and you're good to go. A slight caveat of this is that your character keeps moving for a little bit after the swap, so if you bonk on a wall before entering the room, your speed gain will be nullified. This is a problem as the door leading to the impossible room does have a wall right next to it, so to avoid bonking, I just taunt after swapping and am able to stall out the screen transition while maintaining speed. I'll be using another optional door in this level, which will be useful for getting the pineapple toppin in the 5th Pizza Mart. I'll get into specifics once I get there, but for now, let's talk about the rest of the level. The full run is linked in the description. I start the level as Peppino as I'm generally more accustomed to his movement than the noises. I'll only be swapping to the noise for particularly difficult sections. The start of the level is just a straight line, so avoiding Pizzaface is no issue. I skip killing this tribal cheese in the interest of time, which definitely won't come back to bite me later. In the meantime, I use my speed to mock launch all the way up to the first pizza mart. Getting the mushroom topping is fairly easy as I just loop around Pizzaface with the right wall and exit the mart. The next room involves an updog, after which I'm just a bit late on the jump to get this big collect and tribal cheese kill. I break this set of crumbling blocks before entering the first secret, as waiting for them to crumble after exiting the secret is slightly problematic. The secret itself involves some fast movement to get these optional points before Pizzaface shows up. Once he does show up, I grab slide back and break this crumbling block, stalling out Pizzaface with 2 jukes to be able to exit the secret just as the last blocks break. The next room sets up the Dora, so I make sure to pick up maximum speed off these 2 walls. It is possible to perform the trick with less speed, but you will be more likely to kill or grab Kentucky Kenny just as he spawns in, which is bypassed entirely with more speed. I perform the Dora, swapping to the noise, and mock cancel into a taunt to eat the hot wing as fast as possible. This gives me ample time to dash to the right before Pizzaface catches up. After this, I jump on this platform and dash over to the left, igniting the TNT. The TNT launches the noise into the air as well as taking some time to blow up, so I quickly spam down to get onto the ground quicker and keep moving. The jumps on these 2 platforms can be kinda scary thanks to the noise's floatier jumps, so I make sure to do the whole section without dashing. The second pizza mart involves stalling through tornadoes and taunts while waiting for the blocks to crumble, which shouldn't be a problem as Pizzaface gives me a bit of leeway. The next hot wing section can't simply be done with a Dora, so we have to do something a bit goofier. This whole room involves getting the hot wing power up on the right before going back to the left, after which we have a purely vertical section with some TNT. This would be really problematic to do normally, involving some back and forth Pizzaface jukes and out of the box routing, but I stumbled upon a much weirder strategy that trivializes the room. To start off, I taunt so Kentucky Kenny shoots the hot wing to the left before crusher canceling to the topmost platform. I then wait out Pizzaface and tornado over him, stalling for as long as possible so the hot wing ends up just above the slope. At this point, I do a high woost off the right wall, and uppercut just below the hot wing to send the noise flying. He flies so high in fact, that he reaches the topmost TNT just as he finishes eating the hot wing, instantly blowing it up before Pizzaface catches up. The reason why this happens is because the noise's uppercut gives a huge amount of vertical speed for a brief period, which is maintained for longer due to the hot wing power-up's floatier jumps. Since Pizzaface is so far away, I'm free to wait out the crumbling blocks before continuing on up. Jerome is located fairly close by, but I end up going past him as Pizzaface is too close to me. It is possible to get Jerome right off the bat with a precise dash to the left, but falling down into this hole is really annoying. What I do instead is juke Pizzaface on the right before quickly making my way back to him, and then fall back into the hole with this precise jump turnaround. The reason why I don't fall from the right is because destroying the blocks would take too long, even while spamming the down button. The last section involves waiting out a few more TNT, so I stall a bit to get Pizzaface as far right as possible. Once the way opens up, I quickly dash to the left, ignite the last TNT and kill the rat. Lastly, I have to do 2 precise jumps up to the priest and dash into the wall bounce to juke Pizzaface. This room is really tough, and is also where most of my runs died. There's a lot that can go wrong, such as uppercutting the hot wing too early and bonking the ceiling, getting hit by this tribal cheese, missing the jump turnaround after Jerome, or just failing the last priest section. However, it's still miles easier than the old room 1 strat, so I'll absolutely take it. I swap back to Peppino before super taunting a few more enemies. The upcoming Firemouth section can be done with either character, but I choose to do it as Peppino as I find his version of the power-up easier to control for the second secret. Entering the room, I jump over these cows onto this wall, off of which I do a mock launch to the left. To the left? It's to the right, am I a dumbass? Off of which I do a mock launch to the right. I then mock cancel to avoid killing Kentucky Kenny before picking up the hot wing. I then get down to this TNT as fast as possible, as taking too long will force you to wait while Pizzaface is behind you. Getting up to the second secret requires a couple more precise jumps as well as a fast fall into this TNT. The secret itself is a straight line with a couple of stressful jumps, so Pizzaface is easily avoided. I get kicked by this cow in the UFO to avoid an interception with Pizzaface on the lower level before continuing on. Wow, so much for that one achievement, I guess. The third pizza mart involves a couple of jumps over totem clouds and cows, followed by a high jump onto this platform, going just slow enough to avoid getting hit by this lightning. I get the big collect on the left to avoid having to do a precise mid-air fast fall before jumping back down and exiting the UFO. The fourth pizza mart isn't that noteworthy, so let's just skip all the way to the fifth one. This pizza mart has a short Firemouth section, in a similar vein to the first impossible room. Kentucky Kenny is just way too close to the entrance, so we can't get the transformation without getting caught by Pizzaface. This Fire Mouth transformation isn't required as its only purpose is to kill the rat blocking the pineapple topping, and we are able to simply skip it and get the third secret normally. However, this level is kind of tight on the point requirement, so I would prefer getting the topping if possible. Thankfully, I can instant turn in the next room and then do a Dora to get to Kentucky Kenny with plenty of time to avoid Pizzaface. This Dora is even easier than the first as there's no wall close by, so I can just buffer the roll instantly, jump, taunt, and jump up on these platforms moderately fast to get to the topping. Getting to the third secret from here is kind of tricky, so I reset the room and enter from the other side. Pizzaface is also easily juking the secret as a noise. I taunt once in the next room to set up a close Pizzaface juke in the bottom. The next room has me getting hit because I forgot I didn't kill the tribal cheese from earlier, but I can easily recover and swap back to Pepino, it's no problem. The lap 2 is incredibly easy, and I finished with a time of 4 minutes and 56 seconds. This level is pretty crazy, with lots of interesting and difficult sections. I'm mixed on calling it the hardest level in this challenge as it took me a lot less time to clear than Deep Dish 9, but that could also be the fact that I'm better at the game. Yeah, it's probably that. If you're wondering whether Dora can be used for any of the other impossible levels, I don't have many news for you. The first impossible room of Oh Shit doesn't have a door transition, so we can't use it to build up crazy speed. Not that it will really help. Pizzascape's impossible room does have a transition, which we can use to get to the night transformation insanely fast, but once again we run into the problem of not being able to turn it around easily in juke Pizzaface. I can't really say anything for sure though, so I'll just keep tinkering with this technique for a bit longer. If I find anything new, I'll make sure to let you know. Since this kind of serves as a sequel to the Pizzaface video, I will briefly go over some miscellaneous stuff that occurred after it was published. Just a Fox did some more labbing and found that it was possible to beat both Crust Cove and Freezerator as Pepino, which is pretty cool. The former requires you to kill the first few rats in the impossible room, lose their transformation, insta-turn to reset the room, and do the rest normally, while the latter just involves some tight fastfalls. It's impressive either way. A short interruption from editing me here. Just a Fox managed to complete the first impossible room of Oregano Desert without using Dora or any slowdown. The strat itself is pretty tight, involving some more noise uppercut shenanigans, and overall it's much harder than just doing a Dora. However, this does mean that Oregano is now possible to beat without swap mode, which is cool. Anyways, back to that guy. Hopefully this is where the challenge ends, at least for a while. 18 out of the 20 levels are possible, which is more than I'd ever expected. I think we've picked this game apart enough at the moment, so I'll move on to other things. Expect more Kaizo level completions from me in the future, and if you're itching to see one now, I've recently completed Gunpowder Desert. Go watch that, I guess. And I'll also probably be making a video on that, but I'm not sure. Alright, see ya.
I made this pizza axe to cut pizzas into 8 slices in one cut.